aspirants, welcome back to Daily Chronicles by Abhiram Ias. So today, let's see the most important topics from the Indian Express, Hindu and PIB. So the topics for today are BIMSTEC, and let's also discuss about the BRICS, and let's talk about the reciprocal tariffs and know what are they. Let's see about the seaweeds and also undersea cables, and also about the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, and also about the Axiom 4 machine. Chalo, let's start. Now, the first article is BIMSTEC Summit. Why it is in news? Because we know 6th BIMSTEC Summit is going on in Thailand, okay, in Myanmar, Thailand. So, what is the theme of this? Basically, the theme is prosperous, resilient and open BIMSTEC. And basically, if we see, PM Modi went to Thailand to attend the 6th BIMSTEC Summit. Now, in this context, it is important to know about the BIMSTEC for the UPSC exam. What is BIMSTEC? Like, it is Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Now, why it is named as Bay of Bengal Initiative? Because the countries are located near the Bay of Bengal region. Now, what are the countries? Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Thailand. If we see here, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal, which are closely located to the Bay of Bengal region. Okay, Bay of Bengal region. Right? Now, basically, it was established in the year 1997 through the Bangkok Declaration. First, only 4 countries have been joined. They are Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand. That is BIST. Okay. But later it was renamed in the year 2004 after joining Myanmar, and later Nepal and Bhutan has been joined, okay, making it completely BIMSTEC with 7 countries. Now, what is the purpose to launch this? Basically, it is a regional grouping connecting the South Asia and also Southeast Asia, okay, South Asia and also the Southeast Asia. It promotes the technical and economic cooperation among these countries. Where its headquarters is located, basically the headquarters is in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Okay, this is the basic information about the BIMSTEC. Now, let's see what are the objectives of BIMSTEC. Basically, it is like economic cooperation. Now, okay, economic cooperation in the Bay of Bengal region among those 7 countries, and also sectoral collaboration where trade, economy, technology, energy, transportation and environment trades have, these components, these sectors components will be shared, and also some regional challenges like cross-border terrorism, right, poverty and also the climate change. Now, if we see the connectivity, like infrastructure and digital links will be also shared between those countries, and as they are located near, they are located near to the Bay of Bengal region, to the near axis. Okay, so similarity in culture and also in the academics. Okay, this is the objective of the BIMSTEC. Now, let's see the key initiatives led by the India. So, basically in the trade sector, we can see that BIMSTEC free trade agreement have been launched to increase the intra-regional trade. What is the focus? To cut the tariffs, to cut the taxes, trade facilitation, investment flows. Okay, it increases the investment flows. And in the connectivity sector, if we see multimodal networks, like if we take the road connectivity, air connectivity, land connectivity has been increased. For example, the major projects are Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project, which is between India and Myanmar. Remember this? So, Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project is between India and Myanmar. There is also India-Myanmar-Thailand Trilateral Highway, and also BBIN Motor Vehicle Agreement. What is BBIN here? Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal Motor Vehicle Agreement. Okay, you can use this in mains and write these examples. Now, further, if we see in the energy sector, BIMSTEC Energy Grid. What it is for? So, it is for regional electricity grid for cross-border energy trade. It is under the leadership of India and Myanmar in renewable energy and also in the power sharing. Also, security and disaster management sector, if we see the security cooperation, so BIMSTEC Convention on Counter-Terrorism and also Transnational Crime. For example, India and Thailand is leading the roles in cyber security and maritime security also. Like, it is also helping in disaster management mechanisms, where it is creating frameworks for national disaster response, climate adaptation and humanitarian aid also. So, these are the key Indian-led initiatives. And for UPSC, it is important to know about the differences between SAARC and BIMSTEC. Let's see that. So, full form we already saw, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Okay, remember this. And it is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Okay, it is established in the year 1997 through the Bangkok Declaration, but this is introduced in 1985 through the Dhaka Summit. Okay, this is Bangkok Declaration, but whereas SAARC is the SAARC was far before than BIMSTEC. It was launched in the year 1985. It was established in the year 1985 through the Dhaka Summit, but the secretariat is in Dhaka, Bangladesh. With secretariat, BIMSTEC secretariat is in Dhaka, Bangladesh, and SAARC headquarters is in Kathmandu, Nepal. Okay, remember this. Now, 7 members with regards to BIMSTEC, that is Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand. Did I miss anything? That's it. So, I will repeat. Okay, 7 countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Thailand. But coming to the SAARC, these are 8 countries where Afghanistan and Pakistan have been also included. Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. Okay. Remember, in SAARC, Pakistan is a country associated with the SAARC. And if you see the BIMSTEC main focus for economic growth, connectivity, security and disaster management. SAARC is also same, like regional integration, trade and poverty alleviation. Okay. See, in this Pakistan is not a member, but here Pakistan is a member in SAARC. Okay. And what are the issues? So, slow progress on FTA, China's influence and also Myanmar crisis. Recently we saw earthquake in Myanmar, right? If we coming to the SAARC, it is inactive for many years. Why? Due to cross-border terrorism between India and Pakistan. Now, moving to the next article, it is about BRICS. This article is from PIB. Why it is there? So, India is calling on BRICS to unite on Baku to Berlin roadmap to mobilize USD 1.3 trillion for achieving NDC goals at the 11th BRICS Environmental Ministers meeting in Brasilia. Okay. In this context, let's talk about the BRICS. Now, what is BRICS? So, basically it is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Remember again, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China and also South Africa. It is representing a group of emerging economies which are focused on economy, political and cultural cooperation. Initially it was BRIC, but in 2010 South Africa has joined, making it BRICS. Okay. Now, in the year 2024, 5 countries have been joined, that is Iran, UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia and Saudi Arabia. They have been joined in 2024 and further recently in January 2025, Indonesia have been joined. So, BRICS has been elongated. BRICS plus, that is, so first it was BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. But again in 2024, Iran, UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia have been joined. Recently in the year 2025 in January, Indonesia have been joined. Okay. Now, what are the key initiatives? Basically in the year 2014, New Development Bank has been launched. What is it for? Its headquarters in Shanghai to fund the infrastructural projects in member states and other developing countries, and also contingent reserve arrangement, same in 2014, where it is a financial safety net to support the BRICS countries during the economic crisis, and also BRICS payment system, what it is used for. So, it is proposed to facilitate the trade and reduce reliance on Western control financial systems, aiming to reduce dependency on the US dollars. Okay. Now, the next article is about the reciprocal tariffs. If you see the paper, complete paper of Indian Express is talking about the reciprocal tariffs. So, it is important to know about the reciprocal tariffs. Now, what is the article telling? India holds fight as Trump slabs the tariffs. So, Trump announces the tariffs ranging from 10 to 49% and India hit with 27% of the tariffs. Tariffs are nothing but, in simple terms, it is tax. And this reciprocal tariffs means you put tax on me, then I will put tax on your goods. Give and take policy, same like give and take policy. So now what is reciprocal tariff here? Basically it is nothing but a tax which is imposed on imports, from another nation in response to similar tariffs imposed by that country. Okay. So basically two countries, A and B. I am imposing 10% tariff on your goods. Then what will I do? In reciprocation to this, I will also the B country will also implement 10% of tax on the other goods from your country. Okay, simply it is nothing but give and take policy. Again I will repeat. So a reciprocal tariff is a tax which is imposed on imports from one country in response to similar tariffs imposed by that country. Now it aims to ensure free trade and also protect the domestic industries by leveling the playing field. Okay, now let us see the key points associated with it. Basically balance in the trade relations, okay, and also negotiation tools, domestic industry protection, and also impact on international relations. If we see, this can lead to trade war. I think the trade war has been started as Trump has introduced the reciprocal tariffs on major countries. Now this it can strain the diplomacy and lead to the trade wars. Consumer impact, it increases the prices of imports, reducing the choices for the consumers and therefore creates the inflation. So as the prices are increasing, it leads to the inflation. Okay, the imports and exports will be also increased. Okay. Next, how it works? Let's see the process step by step. So basically tariff basis. So tariffs are basically nothing but taxes which are imposed on the imported goods, right? Now what is the purpose? It fixes trade imbalances and counter the unfair practices. Now who implements this? Basically matching partner countries, like example 10% for 10%, same like give and take. Okay. Now what is the impact? We saw it can lead to negotiation or escalation, which is leading to the trade war, and it protects the domestic markets, domestic industries, but raises the consumer prices, that is increase of prices simply. Economic crisis, it disrupts the supply chain globally. Okay. Now let's talk about the next article. It is about the seaweeds. Why it is in news? Basically, so PIB has given an article that seaweed, a nutritional powerhouse from the ocean. This can be asked in the exam. This is important. Now let's talk about the seaweed. What are seaweeds? They are multicellular algae basically. You can see here. They are multicellular algae. Okay. And they are the marine plants that grows in oceans and seas. That means they can be grown in saltwater conditions also. Saltwater areas also. They are very nutrient rich. Okay. Almost they contain 54 trace elements, vitamins, minerals and other amino acids. And the significance is they fight in cancers, diabetes, arthritis, health diseases. They help us mainly in our health context, and high BP also, boost immunity. Now if you see, there are tablets associated with this seaweed. Okay, and these are mainly used in cosmetics, fertilizers and also medicines. The thing is that they can grow in ocean and seas. That means it doesn't need any land, right? So it grows without land, fresh water, that means they can grow in salt water also. Then no need of fertilizers or pesticides, they are eco-friendly, and basically this algae acts as a biostimulant. What is biostimulant here? Basically this increases the nutrient absorption for other plants. This increases the nutrient absorption for other plants. So it acts as a biostimulant. Okay. Now let's see the key products associated with the seaweed. Basically alginate, which is a natural thickener. Okay, it is a natural thickener. It is a thickening agent. Okay, thickening agent from brown seaweed, which is used in food and medicine. Next is agar. We are familiar with the agar. What is this? It is a jelly-like substance from red seaweed, which is used in science and technology laboratories, food and science. And also carrageenan, which is a gelling agent. See, if you see, this is thickening agent. This is gelling like substance, and it is also gelling like substance from red seaweed, which is commonly used in dairy and processed food. Now, let's see the development of India in the seaweed sector. Basically, India is boosting seaweed farming through the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Basically, the target growth was 1.12 million tons of seaweed production in just 5 years. And later, investment power 640 crore have been allocated for infrastructure and support. And further, if we see the progress so far, 46,095 wraps and 65,330 monocycline tubelets were approved. Tubelets were approved for the seaweed cultivation. Now, let's talk about the key benefits of the seaweed. So, if we take the agriculture benefits, already we saw it is acting as a biostimulant where it is helping in additional nutrient absorption, okay. So that it is enhancing the crop yield and also soil health and plant resilience. So, basically it is regulated under the Fertilizer Control Order of 1985. So, unlike fertilizers, the biostimulants stimulate the natural plant process, okay, and as a process of supporting it under the organic farming, India is promoting it under the Parampara Pragat Krishi Vikas Yojana and also Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. So, where the Mission Organic Value Chain Development for the northeastern states, okay, it is promoted under the Parampara Krishi Vikas Yojana as a component of to support in the organic farming sectors. Now, further, if you see the ecological benefits, it acts as, it absorbs the atmospheric CO2 as it is algae, okay, atmospheric CO2 helping the climate change. It also acts as a climate change regulator, and it also keeps the ocean water clean and provides the habitat for the marine life. But see here, no input of farming is required. It is very basically it is easy to grow, so requires no land, fresh water, fertilizers or any type of pesticides. So, in market, seaweed cost is very high, okay, because and it is providing income alternatives for the coastal communities, okay. Example, Kappa-Physis alpha Kappa-Ficus alvarezi, okay. And the maddala stop just now, okay. Same keywords. Okay. If you see in the market, the seaweed price is very high, and example is Kappa-Ficus alvarezi can earn farmers up to 13.28 lakhs per hectare per year, okay. That is the cost of seaweed in the market, and because it is very useful for the health and it is highly exported, highly need in the global demand for seaweed based products like biofuels and biofertilizers, boosting the foreign exchange earnings, okay. Now, let's see the let's see the seaweed development in India. So, first National Conference of Seaweed Cultivation in the year Jan 2024 in Gujarat held. So, it is promoting the seaweed as job creator, especially for fish farmers. For example, if we take the Kori Creek pilot project was launched to boost the seaweed farming. So, Kori Creek pilot was launched to boost the seaweed farming. Okay, this is important. And under Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada scheme, so it is aiming to increase the seaweed production, since that is Kappa-Ficus alvarezi, which is a common seaweed, is a disease prone, so that we can get the more amount of income through this, for the coastal communities. Now, India is allowing the import of new seaweed varieties through guidelines, okay, and also seaweed clusters have been developed in the Lakshadweep. Further, Tamil Nadu is acting as center of excellence, where it focuses on seaweed research, better farming, seed banks, and creating 5,000 plus jobs, okay. And also in the Coastal Aquaculture Authority Act, it has been updated for the seaweed, where it is supporting the eco-friendly practices like seaweed farming, simplifying the rules to encourage the business growth. And also some guidelines have been created for import of live seaweeds into India. And also sea farming in Gujarat, as we saw, that is in Kori Creek, where the it is promoting the seaweed farming. Now, the next article is about the undersea cables. What are these undersea cables? As the name suggests, cables underneath of the sea. Let's see what are this basically. Timing. Now, the next article is about the undersea cables. As the name suggests, they are the cables underneath the sea. Okay, let's see what are they. Basically, they are the thick fiber optic cables laid on the sea floor to transmit the global network and also the telecom data. Okay, they connect the internet service providers across the nations. Like however optical fibers are connecting, the same way fibers underneath the sea also will connect, the same work. And landing stations onshore receive the data and pass it through the terrestrial networks. Okay, and it carries 90% of the global data, 80% of the world trade and $10 trillion in the financial transactions. Okay. Now, next let's see the India's undersea cable infrastructure. Basically, currently there are 17 undersea cable systems land in India. The major hubs are Mumbai and also Chennai. If we see the domestic system, Chennai, Andaman, Nicobar Islands and also Kochi, Lakshadweep Islands. Okay. Now, further let's see the challenges and risk associated with it. Basically, we have to take 51 clearances like from Department of Telecommunication, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and also Home Ministry, Ministry of Home Affairs and also the local bodies. So, laying cables within 24 nautical miles of territorial waters is basically time consuming. Okay, laying the cables underneath the sea is time consuming effect. And also if we see the security and maintenance issues, we are that is vulnerability to Red Sea disruptions, that is Bab el Mandab Strait, and also like in 2024 cable cut impacted approximately 25% of the India's internet. Okay, and frequent cable breakages by fishing trawls, and if we see there is a lack of repair capacity. Okay, these are the challenges associated with it. And the other article is Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Now, why it is in news? Basically, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, West Bengal got no funds under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, says the minister. Why? Because they didn't use the funds. That's why no new funds to this states. Now, what is the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan? Basically, it was launched in the 2018 by the Ministry of Education. It merged 3 schemes, that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan and also teacher education. Now, let's see the objectives of Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Basically, it is enhancing the universal access, equity and quality in the school education, and it is also improving the school effectiveness and learning outcomes, and it is also fulfilling Right to Education Act of 2009, and further it is promoting the vocational education, teacher training and technology use. Now, what are the key features of it? Basically, it is covering education from preschool to class 12 and also in single district level plan for holistic educational development. In one district, it is giving the holistic development plan for the education, and it prioritizes aspirational districts and also left-wing extremism affected areas and educationally backward blocks, and it focuses on 2 T's, that is technology and teacher training and technology training, and it is aligned with the SDG 4, what is it? Quality, inclusive and equitable education by the year 2030. Now, let's also talk about the PM Shri schools, which is mentioned in the article. What is PM Shri here? Schools for Raising India. Okay, Schools for Raising India. It was launched in the year 2022-2023 by Ministry of Education, and it is aligned with the National Education Policy. What is the aim of it? To develop the 14,500 model schools as exemplars of National Education Policy 2020 principles. Okay. Now, what are the key features associated with it? Basically, it provides inclusive, equitable and joyful learning. It focuses on critical thinking, experimental and holistic learning, and also basically it is focusing on foundational literacy and numeracy. And it is integrating the modern technology, multilingual teaching, green infrastructure and 5-year implementation period like 2022 to 2023, 2020. And basically it is integrating the modern technology, multilingual learning and also green infrastructure and also 5-year implementation till the year 2027, and it requires memorandum of understanding between the center and states and union territories for the community participation, of those states. Now, the last article is about the Axiom mission. Now, why it is in news? Because India's Shubhanshu will fly to ISS in May for Axiom 4 mission. Okay, now in this context, let's see about the Axiom 4 mission. See, simply remember this, this is the basic thing. It is a private space flight to the International Space Station, which is operated by the Axiom Space in the country USA. This Axiom Space is by USA and it uses SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft launched by a Falcon 9 rocket, and as the name suggests, it is the fourth mission which is collaboration with NASA after the Axiom 1, Axiom 2 and Axiom 3. And further, if we see like what is the uses of this, what are the objectives for this? Basically for commercial space initiatives, like it promotes the space tourism and private research in low Earth orbit, and it demonstrates the feasibility of commercial space stations. And also it is collaborating with international countries, like it involves a multinational crew fostering global partnership in the space science. And also it helps in the scientific research which supports an R&D in microgravity experiments. And further, if we see crew and spacecraft, there is a carriers of a mix of professional astronauts, researchers and private individuals from many countries. And also duration is approximately 14 days aboard the International Space Station. And activities, it conducts the experiments, technology demonstrations and also educational outreach. And what is the goal for this? Basically underground work for the first commercial space station, reducing ISS dependency. Okay. These are the key features of the Axiom 4. That's all for today. Thank you.